Summer is nearly here, and you know what time it is? It's time for camp. Now, I'm not referring to the type of camp that involves pitching a tent and roasting s'mores, although that can be a fun thing to do with your family. I want to talk to you today about the type of camp where you typically engage in a central theme of your choosing and participate in different activities around that theme. For example, robotics camp, sports camp, or theater camp. Today, I want to share with you a fun and playful way you can engage with your children in designing and implementing your own family camp. This can be done with children of all ages and is a great family tradition to revisit each summer. Additionally, you can do this if you're having a staycation or on a road trip, or even if you just have a half an hour a day with your kids. The most important thing about designing your family camp is to include all members of your family if possible, so that you're learning, creating, and building together. So much of the creativity research focuses on finding an interest, so this is a wonderful way to explore, nurture, and learn all about your family's interests. Now, you don't need to use my steps exactly, as they're presented in different ways. Take what you like, modify it for your family, and most importantly, don't forget to have fun. For this activity, you need some Post-it notes, markers, and paper. Let's get started. Before we generate ideas on potential themes for your family camp, I would like to get you and your family warmed up by coming up with a name for your family camp. A super simple way to name your camp is by putting together your family name plus camp. So for us, it would be called Burnett Camp. But given we are creative thinkers, this is a great opportunity for you to come up with many potential names for your camp. To do this, we're going to generate names using divergent thinking, and then you will select a name using convergent thinking. Now, divergent thinking is a type of thinking that allows you to generate lots and lots of ideas. And here's the important part of divergent thinking. There are guidelines. So let's go through them. When you're using divergent thinking, you need to delay your judgment. This can be the hardest part of being creative. So when you hear ideas being shared by your family members, you are not allowed to say things like, "That won't work, we don't have the time for that, we don't have the money for that, ew." Ideas are just ideas. If something surprises you, try keeping open and asking questions. 2, seek quantity. They say the more ideas you come up with, the more original ideas you'll come up with. So I want you to aim for 50 different names. Seek wild and unusual names. Remember delaying your judgment, so if you have a wild and crazy idea like bandana bear Burnett's, make sure you share it. After all, we're practicing our divergent thinking. Build on other ideas. If you hear something you like, feel free to build on it. Banana bear Burnett's bathing in bacon, for example. Now, grab your Post-its. Here is what you need to do next. Find a wall in your house and grab some Post-its. Your title should be Names for Your Family Camp. You will also need some markers. Write down one idea per Post-it, write it, say it, stick it up on the wall. Make sure you can see all of the ideas. If you have little ones who can't write, have them share their ideas in pictures or write down their ideas for them. And I really want to encourage you to be wild and crazy with your ideas. I promise it's fun. Here is a sample of my family and I coming up with potential names for our family camp. Remember, write it, say it, and stick it. Okay, family, we're going to generate possible camp family names. Let's hear what you have. Remember to write it, say it, and stick it.
Oh, we have to say it?
Yes, write it down.
My hands might be a bit full right now.
I'm going to go with it could be cooking, so we're going to be the Turnettes camp.
The Turnettes camp.
The Creative Quartet.
Write it down, please.
The Best Burnett Summer Camp.
Well, How many potential names were you able to generate? Next, it is time to select your family camp name. We will do this by using convergent thinking. And just like divergent thinking, convergent thinking also has a set of guidelines to follow. Give each member of your family 5 stars or stickers that they can place on their favorite ideas and use the following guidelines. Make sure to use positive judgment. Looking over your ideas and saying, no, this isn't very useful, you're not being creative. You could ask, what do you like about this idea? Seek novelty. Sure, you could start with the basic Burnett family camp, but who could forget the bouncing banana boat Burnett's? Check your criteria. Does the name reflect who you are as a family? Place your stars or stickers on your top ideas and then work together as a family to see if you could create one name. Now, let's check back on my family. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to select our family camp name. Now, if you go to all of your ideas, you don't ever want to throw out your ideas because you never know if you want to go back to them. But I'm going to pull off all the ones that have sticky dots. So this one has 3, this one has 1. All the ones that have just 1 we'll put down here as possible options. This one has 2. This one has 1. Now this one was almost unanimous, Camp Energy. This one has 1. This one's got 2. I thought that said barking Burnett's. We just got a dog, so I was thinking that wouldn't have been a big surprise. All right, so we've got 1 clear top winner with Camp Energy. Now, we don't have to just go with that one because it had the most votes. We want to entertain all of the options here. So, would anyone like to make a case for their option in the family?
Creative Quartet. It has alliteration.
Okay, so the Creative Quartet. I also selected the Creative Quartet because I just think it's fun and we're a very musical family. Yes?
The Wriggly Biggly and his background singers camp, because I think everyone should learn how to be a background singer to the famous Wriggle Biggles.
So Wriggle Biggles is our dog, and you've probably seen him in this video. So good option. So anyone else want to make a case for theirs?
I like the Miles of Smiles camp because it makes me think of how we might feel at the end of summer. And I agree that the Creative Quartet is actually quite a cool name.
Okay, so let's just talk through those. Are there any that we can combine to make it combine some of those ideas? Yes.
The Wriggly Biggly and his background singers camp Creative Quartet.
If you're gonna combine like that, we could do Wriggly Biggly and his Creative Quartet of background singers.
I love it.
All right,
but I'm not judging.
So it sounds like we're getting some convergence and family energy around the Wriggly Biggly and his Creative Quartet background singers camp. Is that what we've decided? Now that's a very long name. We may need to come up with an acronym. But next, we're going to create a poster that represents our new family camp name, the Wriggly Biggly, and his Creative Quartet background singers camp.
It's the RBCQ camp.
RBCQ. All right, there we go. There's our name.
Nice.
Now, once you've converged on a name for your family camp, you're ready for the next step. Grab a piece of paper, preferably a large sheet of paper, and design your own family camp sign or logo. Hang it on the wall and grab some Post-its and markers for the next step. Now comes the fun part. We're going to generate possible themes for your family camp. We're going to revisit our divergent thinking guidelines, so make sure when you're coming up with ideas, you are delaying your judgment, seeking quantity, building on other ideas, and seeking wild and unusual ideas. Remember, an idea is just an idea. If you have one, write it down, say it, and stick it up on your wall. Be sure to write camp at the end of each example. For example, theater camp, sports camp, baseball camp, dance camp, ukulele camp. It is important to note that you can have anything you can imagine, big or small, as a potential theme. If it enters your mind, write it down. You never know what one idea will lead to another. Now, let's check in with my family. If you get stuck, here are some questions that might spark some new ideas. What would you like to learn about? What makes you happy? If ice cream camp makes you happy, write it down and stick it up there. What's something you know nothing about? And what do you enjoy doing together? What are some things you could create together? Once you've exhausted all ideas, take an incubation break and revisit it the next day. Are there any ideas that you would like to add? If not, you're ready for the final step. It is now time to select your themes. But before you do, you need to generate some criteria for your selection. Here are some things you need to consider. Cost. Do you have a budget of how much you want to spend on your camp? Time. How much time will you give to your camp? Typically, my family and I will do a week-long theme and we'll give a half an hour to an hour to each theme each day. However, you could make a full-day camp or even a half-hour camp over a few days. Resources. Do you have the resources to create this camp? If not, will it fit within your budget? Ability. Is everyone in your family able to participate in this theme? Feel free to use any other criteria that you find important. Now comes the best part, selecting your camp theme. If you have stickers around, give everyone 5 stickers to select their favorite ideas, or just use a marker. If one member has selected a camp theme and another likes it, then they can also add their star. You will need to review the Convergent guidelines once again. Make sure to use positive judgment. Before you say no to an idea, think of a way you might adapt the idea to fit your criteria. Seek novelty. There will likely be ideas that family members don't want to be a part of. Invite them to keep open and give it a try. Check your criteria. Does it fit with your time, ability, and budget? Let's check to see how my family is doing with this activity. So once you've exhausted all of your ideas for potential themes, you're going to converge. Now remember, you don't want to judge them all and just say no, 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 no. Look for those novel and useful ideas that you're really interested in. Now everyone in your family should have received 5 stickers or 5 stars, or just use a marker and make a star. And you're going to come up and you're going to select your top 5 ideas. Now, you really want to take some time to look through them, and you also want to have a pad of Post-its on your side, just in case you see something that you think, oh, this would be fun, portrait camp. I want to actually build on that. I want to do portraits of my parents' camp, where we would actually draw pictures of my parents. So maybe you want to modify something. So you want to have a Sharpie marker, just in case you want to modify any of your ideas. Also, if something comes up that you haven't thought of and it's not up there, feel free to write it down and put your sticker on it. So all of my family members have their stickers, and we're going to come up and select our top ideas. Now it's time for the big family conversation to select your camp ideas. And this is where you can make it fit with your own time and commitment for the summer. For my family, we will each select one camp theme that we would like to pursue, and we will spend a week focused on that theme. Now what we really need to think about is our criteria. So you want to make sure that this fits within your budget, within your time frame, and within your abilities of everyone in your family. So everyone in my family will get 1 week to select their top option, and we will spend a half an hour each day focused on that activity. Are you ready, family members? You're going to pick your top choice. Go. Okay, so our top options, mine was DIY camp because I love a good DIY activity. My husband's is Learn to Dance Camp because he does not know how to dance, nor does my son. My daughter's quite the dancer. My daughter's is Traveling Camp. And my son's is Badminton Camp. So we have some different types of activities, and these are really good choices. All of them are really good choices. They do fit within our budget. Now I have to check with my daughter and ask what are the kinds of things that she might like to do for traveling camp.
Like travel to different places around the world.
Okay, so that doesn't really fit within our budget or our time frame because we already have several little trips planned, but it doesn't really fit within my budget to travel the world this particular summer. So is there some way we can modify that? Or would you like to select a different camp idea? Because remember, we only have about a half an hour a day to work on this.
Select a different camp.
Okay, come on up and select a different camp. Shark Tank Camp. Okay, so we are a big Shark Tank family. We love Shark Tank, and we can do a little bit of Shark Tank. So we have our 4 themes, and what I envision for my family is that we spend a half an hour to an hour each day focused on the theme of the week. Now comes the most exciting part, designing and implementing our camp theme. What components will you have in your family camp? Here are some of my recommendations. 1, head to the library. Find the section based on your theme and check out some books to read together. 2, make something. What might be all the things you can make based on your theme? 3, plan an outing. Go somewhere to learn more about your theme. 4, teach others about what you're learning from your theme. The opportunities for family camp are endless. Just try to remember, the most important thing is to have fun. Don't take it too seriously, and give your child the opportunity to select an idea they are passionate about and let them lead the way. If you have any questions or want to share your ideas with me, I would love to see them. Please post them in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our station for more creative thinking exercises to do with your family and your students. And have a wonderful summer.